This is probably the biggest question out there. Is Allah the name of some different, separate God that's only for Islam? It's a really common question, and you know what? It's all built on a huge misunderstanding that we're going to clear up right now. Okay, so first things first, let's tackle that big idea head on. The misconception that the word Allah belongs exclusively to one group of people. When you boil it all down, it's actually pretty simple. The word God in English and the word Allah in Arabic, they're pointing to the very same one and only creator. In fact, if you're an Arabic-speaking Christian or Jew, you also use the word Allah when you pray. It literally comes from Al-ilah, which just means the God. And this connection becomes, well, impossible to ignore when you look at the languages themselves. It's like finding out these faiths are all part of the same extended family, linguistically speaking. Just think about it for a second. Arabic, the language of the Quran, Hebrew, the language of the Torah, and Aramaic, the language that Jesus himself spoke, they all come from the exact same Semitic language family. It's no surprise their most important words are deeply, deeply connected. And boom, here's where it all just clicks. Look at that shared root, AaLoH. See it? In Hebrew, it gives you El or Eloah. In Aramaic, it becomes AaLaH, and in Arabic, you get AaLaH. You can literally see how they are all just different branches growing from the exact same ancient tree trunk. Okay, but this is where things get really interesting, because the Quran makes a distinction here that is absolutely critical to its entire message. It's the difference between Allah, that is, the God, and Ilah, meaning a God. So here's the absolute key. Allah is a proper name. It refers to the God. But Ilah, well, that's a much bigger idea. An Ilah is a category. It can be anything, a person, an idea, a system, an object that commands your ultimate devotion. It's what has the final say in your life. It's what you truly serve. And what's wild is that the Quran itself uses this word to build a bridge. It says, our ilah and your ilah is the same. It's using that broader category, the thing we all ultimately submit to find common ground. So what this really means is that this central problem the Quran is trying to solve isn't atheism. It's not about whether a God exists or not. The real core issue is about our allegiance. It's about misdirected submission. And that idea, well, that brings this whole ancient concept crashing right into our modern world. Because if an Allah isn't just a statue made of stone, then what else could be acting as one in our lives right now? So let's ask that again. If an ilah is whatever has the ultimate say over you, the thing you submit to, well, that idea goes way beyond old school idols. In fact, the Quran points out some examples that feel surprisingly modern. The very first example it gives is incredibly personal. It asks us to look at the person who makes their own ego, their own wants and whims, the ultimate authority in their life. I mean, just think about that for a second. It's a profound insight. Our own internal impulses, what I want when I want it, can become the real governing force in our lives. Our own ego can literally become our ilah. And then there's this one. This is just as challenging. It points to people who took religious leaders and basically elevated them to a godlike status, following them without question. And this isn't just about monks or scholars from a long time ago. Anytime we blindly follow a person, an ideology, or any kind of system, letting it be the final judge of right and wrong for us, that thing starts to act as our ilah. So it all boils down to this one intensely practical question. It's not about what you say you believe in your head. It's about what actually governs you. What's calling the shots in your day-to-day life? So how does all of this come together at the very heart of the Islamic message? Well, understanding this idea of ilah completely reframes the main declaration of faith. It stops being a passive statement and becomes a dynamic, lifelong action. Because with this new understanding, that famous declaration in Islam suddenly takes on a much, much deeper meaning. It's not just some phrase you recite and then you're done. La ilaha illallah. You hear it? There is no ilah except God. Notice the key word there is ilah, not Allah. This whole thing is a statement about where you place your ultimate allegiance. This means the declaration is an active, ongoing commitment. It's a constant process of identifying and, well, dismantling all the other competing Allahs in your life. Your ego, your desires, systems you follow blindly, and then recentering your whole life, all your submission toward that one true source. So, you see, the heart of this message isn't some abstract philosophical debate about what beings might be out there in the universe. No, it's something much more personal, much more practical. It's about what you actually submit to. In the end, the message isn't just about what's in your head. It's about what's in your heart, your actions. It's about what you submit to. And that forces every single one of us to ask, what's my AaLaH?